Hello guys, my name is Aoife. I am a photographer and brand designer here in Ireland, and I run the company Spirit and Luxury, and you are so welcome back to this channel. It's been a few weeks since I have made a video, lots of adventures, lots of travel, lots of client projects in the meantime, which I'm so excited to show you, but I do have an interesting thought for you. So this morning I literally realized that I don't ever want to send or receive another email again. Will I? Probably. But do I want to? Not really. And it led to a conversation about social media, which inevitably took place on social media. And we were talking about, how it has become oversaturated and it's too full of noise. It's lacking the community and the fun and the innocence that it used to have, where you could connect with people all over the world. Now it's simply noise. We're posting, for the sake of posting, not necessarily when we have something to say. It's content for the sake of content. Nobody is really absorbing it, and it's not building the kind of community and growing our businesses like we would want, like we would hope. So how do we go forward? Definitely in-person events. I think that's pretty obvious, that if you can connect with people in person, it is just 10 to 100 times more effective and better that you actually build that real life community where people know who you are, they know what you do, how you fit into their life, essentially. And that's all that marketing is. It's sharing your story and inviting people into it and saying, hey, I can help you with this, that, or the other. And I also came to the conclusion that it would be far more effective to simply write letters, hand write letters. And I wasn't joking. I went and bought paper and envelopes. you know, that this is actually going to be far more effective. And because Instagram is the main platform I use, and I absolutely see the irony of holding this conversation about, the next future of marketing on a platform which is rapidly becoming out of date and not very useful. But the magic immediately struck with people saying, I want to write you a letter. I want to receive a letter. I want to be part of this. And guerrilla marketing, in a way, like putting up stickers and flyers, is going to be a lot more effective, because things that we see in person are becoming a lot more impactful. We're so overwhelmed by the flood, the ocean of content that we see each day, our brains can't take it in. But if you encounter it in the real world, it's becoming a lot more memorable. So if you were running a jewelry brand and I sent you a handwritten letter with pressed flowers saying, hey, this is who I am, I love your brand and I want to work with you, that's going to be something that nobody else is doing. Now, postage is expensive. It is incredibly time consuming, and it's not scalable, and that is the point. We have gotten to the stage where we've lost the intimacy and the personal touch with these ways of communicating with people. If I send an email to 1,000 people, it's not personal, it's not relevant, and it probably doesn't have anything interesting in it, And that's because of the creator fatigue as well. But the moment I anchored in and I wrote the first letter today, all of a sudden I'm overflowing with stories. There is so much I want to tell this one person about my life, about my work, about what I'm thinking about what I want to invite them into. Like, this is where we need to go. We have to stop the content rat race, Like, I was watching a friend of mine filming in her day-to-day life because she needs content, not because she wants to, but because she feels the drive to share her art, and she's been told that this is the only way to do it, and I don't think it is, and I don't think it's the most effective way either. And I appreciate the irony as a photographer and videographer talking about this, and I appreciate the irony of you watching a video about this. But the reality is we need to find other ways to connect, and we're going to go back. Because the next generation of social media platforms and search engines are developing, or have been developed and have been bought up by monopolies, leaving us with a very real gap in meaningful ways to connect to our peers and to our customers. And until that gap is filled, we are left in a bit of a void. And that void is an invitation to be as creative in the ways that you reach your people as you are creative in the ways that you actually do your work. So there's something to think about. Maybe it'll inspire you. Maybe you'll start mailing people. I haven't, found the right balance yet. This is an evolving story of, do I set up PO boxes? Do I actually make this a thing? Do I keep it digital and simply upload a photo of the letter? Or do we really keep to the tangible and keep it offline, keep it out of the hands of robots? I haven't decided yet. But there's something so refreshing about your words and your voice in what is becoming this absolute slop of AI generated content, because the humanity is becoming really, really valuable. And I saw this when I was with a group a couple of days ago, and it was, a circle, and they asked people to write anonymously on a little piece of paper something nice about everybody in the circle. Lovely idea. Supposed to be anonymous. I have very distinct handwriting. I use a distinct pen. And people figured out who had written, this particular piece of paper because they could hear my voice when they were reading it in their head. And they were like, that sounds like where she would put a comma. And it showed me how personal our voice and our writing voice is, and how immediately effective it is. It's part of your brand, for want of a better word, but it's part of your humanness, and that's what we're looking for. Like, we're actually at the stage where my friends are sending me AI generated videos that they don't realize are AI generated. The revolution is here. It is about to transform everything we know. It's about to absolutely transform creative work. We're already seeing it in terms of coding, where a team of 2 people can ship the amount of work of 15 people. Now, the actual purpose of this and the actual usefulness of what they are shipping, generally they're building agents to help with tech overwhelm. So we're using more resources to deal with the problems of poor design in the past. We haven't hit the level where AI is actually going to make tangible, real improvements, and freeing us up to do creative work and to share it with those who need to hear it. We haven't gotten there, and in the meantime we need to find ways to connect with our people and to actually show that we're human and we're alive. Like, it's bizarre to even say those words, but that's where we're getting, And it's going to lead to multiple crises of, where does my art belong? Does my art belong? Should I be producing? And we can get into all these kind of topics. But let's narrow it down to one thing. One thing. You got to connect with your people. You want to share your voice. You didn't just receive the instructions to create art. You received the instructions to share it. And part of you receiving this gift of art is intrinsic in there are the instructions of how to find your people, the people who need to hear it. I absolutely believe that, and I'm so excited to try this experiment. I'm going to let you know how it goes. Let me know if something lands for you, if something strikes you. If you're going to be implementing this in your own business, you're probably feeling frustrated with social media. You're probably numbing out. Maybe even while watching this, maybe this video breaks the third wall a little bit, and you're like, oh, yeah, I actually could do something differently, Like, maybe if you're a graphic designer, it's time to go talk to new local businesses and say, hey, this is what I do and this is how I can help. We're going to have to get very creative and very strategic about it. For the last 15 years, it has been incredibly easy, and I have been so blessed to build businesses with the advantage of the internet, and that's not going to go away, but it's shifting. It's shifting. And there's an invitation within there. I hope you have a wonderful evening. The sun is actually going down here. It is bedtime. I need to relax. I've had too much coffee, as you may be able to tell. Yeah, have a good night. Bye.